Hello, Assalamu alaikum, and welcome to the new ABAP playlist, which is called Introduction to Online Programming. This is also called Module Full Programming. First of all, the objective of this video is all the participants will know the different types of a web program, and they will also recognize the elements of an online program, which are screen components, screen layout, a web program, components and processing control, program work areas, and last but not least, screen work areas. Let's start with the ABAP program types. We have two different ABAP programs. One is the report program, and the other is online programs. Report programs produce list of risks can be divided into conventional reports and interactive reports. This means that the report program are of two types, two further types. One is called conventional reports and the other is interactive reports. Uh, the conventional reports do not allow the interaction of the user. Therefore, the basic list contain excessively information that the user must often sort through to find the relevant data. It means that the conventional reports do not take input and do not take any other reservation from the user. It's execute on the fixed basis and the fixed parameters. Whereas the interactive reports allow interaction by the user. Therefore, the user can produce secondary detail list and the basic list. The user can filter the data. The user can choose the data, watch what on what areas, on what columns do the user need. The user can interact with the reports by himself. The other one is online program. It's also called the module program, as I said. It's also called transition program. It's also called dialog program. These programs do not produce this. These programs are a collection of the screens, flow logic, and the code with the main program, a web program. The term screen refers to the actual physical image that the user sees. This means that the screen which the user will see when it executes the transition code of the module pool program. It's, it's called a screen. The term flow logic refers to the code behind the screen. All the code or the programming logic embedded in the backend, it's called flow logic. It's in this logic, all the things initialization, start of selection, which we use in the classical reports, and all the controlling, all the flow and execution of the screens is based on the flow logic. We maintain all the things, all the control, all the backend work we store in the flow logic section. Now, developing online program. Now, developing online program. Developing online program. We use SE51 for screen printer. We use SE80 for program management and SE editor for writing code, or SE38, which can be called by the transition SE38. Menu printer, in which we maintain menus, it can be called with the transition SE41. A BAP dictionary, we can call it, as you know, SE11. T code, where we create object which we'll use in the online program. Now we can see now let's have a detail of this section. And creating online program, you will use many tools within the ABAP development workbench, like a screen printer, ABAP editor, menu editor, ABAP dictionary, and object navigator. A screen printer used to maintain all components of the screen. Like I said, the ABAP editor used to maintain the main ABAP program. This code consists of data declaration modules. The ABAP modules contain the main processing logic of the online program and are called from within the flow logic of the screen. It's mean all the things are encoded into the ABAP program, and these modules can be called it depend on the logic from the main program, and the only the flow of the program is maintained in the flow logic, whereas the action taken on this flow on this logic is maintained in the ABAP editor program, which is the ABAP program. The menu painter used to maintain the graphical user interface, which consists of functions, keys, I mean, it means that the menus and the keyboard shortcuts maintained in the screen are maintained in this menu painter option. The BAP add dictionary is used, as I said previously, used to define the linked dictionary field definition to screen fields, as well as to create a program work areas with the table statements. Mean if we want to use any structure, we have to structure into the our screen, we have to maintain it, we have to create it in the web dictionary, and we will use these fields, this structure, and we will link this structure to the our screen fields. Also we can use as a work area of the structure fields. You should always use the AppWork Navigator to create online program, because the system will automatically maintain an online program sub-object, and you will all be able to see the hierarchy of the list of the subject objects. From the hierarchy list, you will be able to maintain the branch to the screen painter, app menu editor, and app dictionary. It means that all the linking in all the hierarchy structure will clearly display in the transition SEAT object navigator, where we can easily find what are the components using in this program, how many components, how which type of components are maintained in this type of program, in this particular program. All the objects will show hierarchy wise, and will see clearly, um, and very give very ease to the developer about the objects of the online program. Now moving to our next slide, here we are exploring screen elements. What are screen elements? Screen elements are screen attributes, screen layout, screen attributes, and the flow of sorry field attributes and the flow logic. We use screen painter for maintaining the screen components. And the screen attribute refer to the basic characteristic of the particular screen, for example the type of screen and the size of screen. In this screen painter we use the screen attribute which shows the which maintain the particular characteristic of the screen, for example the what type of screen it is, and the size, what size the screen will carry. The screen layout refers to the physical appearance of the screen. Some of the possible elements of screen contain include text fields, input, output, templates. It's mean that the screen layout is basically the refer to the physical appearance of the screen. It's have the it's have text field, input output templates, radio button, checkbox, frames, push button. The screen layout is maintained in the full screen editor of the screen printer. We should must use full screen editor to maintain the screen attributes. Field attribute refer to the characteristics of each field. It means that the field attribute used to maintain and used to explore, used to maintain the attribute of the field. For example, the type of the field, length of the field, what type of character, what type of this field is. Field attributes, it's mean that input output, or this field is display only field, or this field is input only field. These type of things maintain in the field attributes. The flow logic refers to the code behind the screen. As I already said, it is important to remember the flow logic commands are different from a BAP command. It means that flow logic command is different from a BAP command. Like we use in ABAP, if and is not if and if is not valid in the flow logic. Each screen has its own flow logic, which is divided into two events. Number one, process before output, and number two, process after output. After input, process before output mean event process before the screen is displayed. Mean when the transition called after transition called the PBO automatically of the screen automatically executed and before the screen is displayed. Process after input event process after the user has invoked a function code like click push button, press enter key, etc. Any action taken by the user on any screen elements like push button or checkbox etc. The PAI automatically executed. Each screen must be activated. If you make a change, this is a compulsory for any screen. That screen is only valid if it is in active form. It is if it is already activated. Only the screen will perform correctly. Now, screen layout. What are screen layout? Screen layout has text field, IO templates, frame, tab strip control, checkboxes, radio buttons, and so on. So these are the main eight types of screen elements. And notice that the icon can also be used as a screen element. So we can also say it is screen element. A full screen editor support two mode. Full screen editor support two mode. Number one is numerical, alphanumeric, and the second is graphical. All the Windows 95, Windows NT, Unix supports the graphical mode. You and as its name said, it's graphical, so it is more user friendly with a drag and drop painting interface. With the alphanumeric mode, you paint using the keyboard and menu path. To maintain the full screen editor mode, use the utility setting in screen editor. It can be found from utilities setting option. Here you can check or uncheck the graphical layout editor or checkbox. Our material shows the graphical mode. SAP Online have also listed the same. Now moving to ABAP program components. As you can see that there is ABAP program which contain top include PBO, PAI modules and form include. Top include always have the data uh, which the always have the which we'll use in this program like structures, tables, and variables and global variables, so and so. PBO called before the screen is displayed, as I already said. PI called after the input as invoked function, and presenter, as I already said. Form include subroutine. If the program needs any subroutine, form include will cater all these subroutines into it. An online program consists not only of the screen and their flow, but also web program components, global data, PBO modules, PI modules, and subroutine. All of these components are incorporated into main program. The name of this program must begin with SAP M and then either a Y or Z. Last 25 characters in the program SAP MZAA can be letters or name. Let's assume that our online program is SAP ZAVG. The PB and PI module contains the main processing logic of the program, and this name will be MZAA001, MZAA01. PI will have MZA01 and MZAA 001 will be the PVO module. The subroutine, if necessary, are in separate include program automatically named MZAF01. Now move into the online programming process control. What are the process control and what are the steps and what are the flow of program executes, what are the dependency and what are the sorting and what are the process behind this we are exploring in this slide. During the execution of the online program, control is constantly switching between DINPRO and the ABAP processes. The runtime environment of an online program is made up of two components: DINPRO processor and ABAP processor. The DINPRO processor controls the flow logic code. The ABAP processor controls the code in the ABAP modules. During the execution of an online program, control the constantly switching between the two processes. When the ABAP modules is called from the flow logic, control switches from the DINPRO processor to the ABAP processor. Once the module is finished executing, control switches back to the DINPRO processor. Hope you are getting my point and the concepts um, are clearly executing. If any question you will have, you can ask me via comments. Now move on to our last slide, which is called online program work area. An online program consists of two distinct work areas: the screen work areas and the program module pool work areas. A screen work area will have name, will have the screen elements, screen fields like name, phone, city, for example. But whereas the above the program module pool work area will have data, all the data which declared and which linked to the screen work area. And online because two work areas as I already showed. When you refer to a field in a web program content component or in flow logic, you are referring to a program field, not a screen field. Global program field are defined in the top include. Local program field are defined in the PBAP modules, PVA or PI or in subroutine. Because you are referencing your program fields, the value of their user input into the screen field must be transported to the program work area. This transport from the work area to the screen field occurs if the field names are identical. And this point should also be noted clearly that the screen fields and the web program work area field should must be identical. It means that both names should be same. Both fields name should be same. So then the mapping is executed very cleanly. Values are transported between screen work area and the program work area. After all the modules are executed in the PBO event, values are transported from the program work area to the screen work area with the same name. When the PI event is triggered, values are transported from the screen work area to the program work field with the same name before any PI or any PI modules are executed. Now, this is all regarded to the introduction of module pool programming. If you like my video and if you understand the concepts of this video, hopefully you will like it and you will also subscribe my channel so that you will find another informative videos in my next slide or my next playlist video. Thank you. Bye for now.